Hi, my name is Gillian Brown, and this is my summer of 2022 internship. It was with J.E. Dunn Construction. That picture right there is what the building will look like after substantial completion in May of 2023. Yeah, I left it looking a lot different than that, so it's interesting to see that picture. So I'm a sophomore in construction engineering and management at Purdue University. Like I said, I was an intern with J.E. Dunn for the summer of 2022. I was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and this picture to my right here is the main campus of where the construction was. This is the Abbott Northwestern Hospital, and it was a central utility plant. So a huge industrial project, probably nothing like I'll work on ever in my life again, but very interesting for a first project, I would say, as a newer person in construction. So I added this picture just so you can see the size of it. It is quite substantial and not a lot of space. It was right on the corner of 26th and Chicago. Like I said, not a lot of space, had a kind of trouble with lane closures, and being as a hospital itself, it's always in its own chaos in the healthcare sector. So yeah, we ended up implementing some Connex boxes on Chicago just for extra materials, and also the loading dock between the Cup and Piper, the Piper building right there, which you can kind of see wrapped around the Cup. And then also the little highlighted section around the Piper building is actually an underground tunnel that they also were building at the same time. So more and more construction. A little bit about the project. It is a $120 million project, which I said before is a substantial completion in May of this year. Just a few more months to go. And yeah, that picture right there is how I left it. So it's looking a lot different. But yeah, my arrival to the job site was probably the best time I could have arrived. Being a newer person in construction, most of the submittals had already been approved of. It was mostly just getting the materials in there. And so my exposure to RFIs and submittals were mostly in the finishings and that kind of thing. So I had a lot of, yeah, like I said, exposure to RFIs and submittals, but I also had to do some meeting minutes and takes a lot of photos for a photo log and make a presentation for the owners every Thursday. So yeah. Also a little bit about the project. J.E. Dunn, after they're done with this project, because it is the boilers and chillers and generators is all going to be on this project, all the little tiny boilers and chillers around the campus, they're going to demo them and turn them into better spaces for the hospital. So that could be more OR rooms, more hospital rooms, cafes, whatever the hospital would like to do with them. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. So these are some pictures that I thought were really cool. Like I said, huge equipment. So as you can kind of see there, the workers look so tiny next to them. These two tanks were 35,000 gallon tanks, two of them. So then these tanks would be the backup generators, or the backup fuel for the generators. If the Cup were to fail at some point, if there was like a blizzard that came through, these would power the hospital, I think they said, for 4 to 5 days. So yeah, huge things. Then to the right of that picture is the HVAC system. So I mostly include this just for just the size of it. Even one of these compartments was probably about twice my size. So as you can see, just huge. This new HVAC system was about twice the size of their old one. So yeah, good stuff. The roof of the building. I added this picture just so you can see kind of the size of the building. Also next to it, you can kind of see the loading dock in the back there, and also the old HVAC system. And then inside the building, this is an economizer, just so you can see again the size of the equipment that came in. There was about 2 of them that came in that way. But yeah, the building was about 4 stories in total, including the basement. So 3 stories, but still it was a good amount of substantial space. That second floor you can kind of see to the left of the inside of the building picture, which would just have been the offices for the people working in that building. So not really considered a floor, but it's still considered a floor. So my greatest triumph was probably the presentation aspect of it. my safety manager presents a safety presentation to the job site workers, I think every other Monday, and I was able to present one of those, and there were about 300 people there. I'm still working on my public speaking, and so that was a big triumph for me for doing that. Also, I was trusted to transport some submittal samples to the architect's office. I thought that was really cool because I could speak to the architect a little bit, but yeah, good stuff. Some of my lessons learned: always ask for clarification if you're confused on writing some documents, and that could be anywhere from your meeting minutes to the procurement log, attic stock, whatever. But yeah, these are all legal documents, so please, if I learned that the hard way, ask for clarification when writing legal documents. You never know what could happen. And then lesson 2, I figured this out pretty quickly. The workers are very passionate about what they do on the job site. They are more knowledgeable than any other person you will talk to. So if you have questions about what they're doing, if they're not like actively soldering something, please talk to them. They would be happy to talk to you and explain what they're doing. Things I wish I knew are my biggest struggle. I wish I knew what to wear on the first day. I wore like a neon orange shirt and I got made fun of. So please, please know what to wear on the first day, or ask your super or your project manager or whatever. My biggest struggle was being a newer person in construction. I didn't know that much, just basic construction knowledge, and that almost created a language barrier for me and the people there in the meetings. So yeah, know your stuff a little bit. But yeah, it was good. I ended up just asking a lot of questions, and yeah, I mean, there was also, being an industrial project as it was, a lot of people also didn't know what they were talking about. Like, I think I remember one instance in particular where they were talking about a jellyfish system for a filter, and no one knew what it was, and so I had to be the one to be like, what is that? And everyone else was like, you know what, that's a good question, Gillian, I don't know. So yeah, always ask questions. Many people are in the same boat as you, especially if it's a different project than people are used to. But yeah, overall I had a really good experience with my summer internship with JE Dunn. Thank you for listening.